Solo Leveling, Chapter 108.
Jinwoo let out a brief sigh of relief. His arduous journey, which began on the first level of the demon's castle dungeon, was at last reaching its conclusion on the 100th floor. He shut his eyes for a second to collect his swirling emotions, only for an image of his mother's face to appear in his mind. When he opened his eyes again, the system messages that had yet to fade re-entered his vision. 4 notifications indicating his level-ups were floating there.
I went up 4 levels at once?
Jinwoo's expression brightened considerably. Recalling how his leveling progress had slowed to a near halt after surpassing level 90, he couldn't help but feel a surge of joy. He swiftly pulled up his status window.
Level 97.
Indeed, his level had increased by 4.
Yes.
Jinwoo threw a fist in the air. A dizzying feeling of accomplishment quickly compounded the relief he felt from finally clearing the dungeon. He soon pushed this elation to the back of his thoughts, however. He had a matter of far greater importance than leveling up at the moment.
The purified blood of the Demon King?
That was the final component needed to create the divine water of life. Jinwoo quickly unwound the wrappings from his hand and extended it toward the flashing lights on the Demon King Baran's corpse.
You have discovered. Item, Demon Sovereign's Ring. Will you take it? You have discovered. Item, Demon King's Longsword. Will you take it? You have discovered. Item, Demon King's Short Sword. Will you take it? You have discovered. Item, Demon King's Short Sword. Will you take it? You have discovered. Item, Baron's 2 Horns. Will you take it? You have discovered. Ingredient item, Purified Blood of the Demon King. Will you take it?
Instead of feeling overjoyed, Jinwoo grew anxious as the series of item discovered notifications kept appearing. He couldn't see the one item he was searching for. He finally shouted with excitement, though, when he saw the very last item, Purified Blood of the Demon King.
There it is!
Jinwoo immediately collected all the items and held up the one that had to be the purified blood of the Demon King.
Ingredient item, Purified Blood of the Demon King. Rarity, unknown. Type, ingredient.
This is the liquid created from purifying the blood of Baran, the sovereign of the demons. It possesses immense magical energy, but even after going through the purifying process, the blood still retains strong toxins. In order to use the blood as a medical ingredient, both the fragment of the world tree and spring water from the Forest of Echoes are needed to neutralize the toxins. The crimson liquid swirled inside a transparent glass vial as he tipped it.
This is the Demon King's blood.
He already had the other 2 ingredients, the fragment of the world tree and the spring water from the Forest of Echoes. In that case, what reason was there to delay? Jinwoo immediately called up the crafting skill window.
Crafting skills. Consumable. Divine Water of Life. 3 out of 3.
Unlike before, the text for Divine Water of Life was now pulsing steadily. When he looked at the details, the phrase, crafting possible, immediately grabbed his attention.
Divine Water of Life. Crafting possible. Ingredients. Purified Blood of the Demon King. 1:1. Fragment of the World Tree. 1/1. Spring Water from the Forest of Echoes. 1/1. Will you start crafting? Item, Divine Water of Life.
Jinwoo was eager to see the final product, so without wasting another moment, he initiated the crafting process.
Start.
Crafting process for item, Divine Water of Life, has commenced. 10, 9, 8.
Jinwoo held his breath as he awaited the outcome.
7, 6, 5. The percentage of crafting success and number of finished items will depend on the crafter's intelligence stat.
Jinwoo's eyes widened.
You're only telling me now that success rate and item count depend on my intelligence stat? Does that mean you couldn't even craft anything if you were unintelligent? That actually seems somewhat reasonable.
Jinwoo conceded, nodding to himself. In the meantime, the countdown continued its steady progression.
4, 3, 2.
Why did the term percentage of crafting success make him so uneasy? His only comfort was that he had recognized the value of the intelligence stat early on and had invested a significant number of points into it.
1, 0. Crafting process has been completed. Crafting is a success. You have acquired. Item, Divine Water of Life, X6.
That's what I'm talking about.
Jinwoo had been waiting with apprehension, but the moment the success notification appeared, he thrust his hands into the air in triumph. However, he soon noticed something slightly strange. The vial that held the Demon King's blood was still in his right hand.
Well, I mean, the amount of blood is a little lower, but
Jinwoo cocked his head, then summoned the fragment of the world tree and the spring water from the Forest of Echoes from his inventory. The only item that materialized on the ground was a slightly diminished fragment of the world tree. He checked his inventory and searched, but the spring water was nowhere to be found.
Could it be?
Feeling a bit suspicious, he checked the crafting skill window again, and his suspicion was promptly confirmed.
Ingredients: purified blood of the Demon King, 1/1. Fragment of the world tree, 1/1. Spring water from the Forest of Echoes, 0/1.
Of the 3 required materials, only the spring water was listed as Zu.
So, it only consumes the necessary amount of each ingredient, not the whole thing?
Zu crafting must have halted, because the spring water from the Forest of Echoes was used up, unlike the other 2 components. He had a sense from the start that the crafting wouldn't need much of the Demon King's blood. As for the fragment of the world tree, it had been an enormous log when he first obtained it. It was pretty clear that the spring water, which came in a small bottle, would be depleted first. A broad grin spread across Jinwoo's face in satisfaction.
Well, either way, this is a great result for me.
This was because as long as he could acquire more spring water from the Forest of Echoes, he would be able to create more of this divine water of life.
Wait, there's another issue I need to think about, isn't there?
Jinwoo had been desperate for just 1 bottle of this divine water, but now 6 wooden vials were lying on the ground before him, making it quite hard for him to calm his racing heart.
Item: divine water of life. Rarity: S. Type: consumable. A mysterious liquid medicine that cures any and all illnesses through powerful magic contained within. The effect will only manifest after a whole bottle has been consumed.
Could this item really heal his mother's condition?
I suppose I'll find out later on today.
His heart pounded faster. Jinwoo carefully placed all 6 bottles into his inventory, along with the leftover ingredients. Even after that, he still had many other items to sort through.
1 ring, a long sword, 2 short swords, and a couple of junk items.
Since Baran was the boss of an S-rank dungeon, he had certainly dropped a large amount of loot. This veritable mountain of treasure was a welcome sight, but there was no need to inspect it all right now. His priority was, without a doubt, getting out of here and going to see his mother. Jinwoo simply tossed all the items from the Demon King's body into his reliable inventory. Then, while casually dusting off his hands, he surveyed his surroundings.
I have a very important matter to take care of, but I shouldn't neglect other things just because of that, right? Isn't there an old saying, the more rushed you are, the more you should take the scenic route? Or something like that?
Jinwoo glanced behind him and saw his shadow soldiers standing in neat rows, having annihilated an army 10 times their size. Behind them, dead demons lay scattered everywhere.
What happened to the Sky Dragon?
Jinwoo's eyes roamed around, urgently seeking the creature the Demon King had been riding. Concerningly, he could only see piles of demon corpses, with no sign of the Sky Dragon at all.
Wait, there's no way it flew off during the battle, right?
Fortunately, his worries were short-lived. Iron was dragging a lifeless corpse behind him. It was the Sky Dragon, Kaiselin.
Iron, good work.
Perhaps Iron was flustered by Jinwoo's praise, a rare occurrence lately, as he started scratching the back of his head. Naturally, he was still scratching the back of his helmet. Jinwoo gave Iron's shoulder a light pat and stood before the Sky Dragon's remains.
It's just as I suspected.
Just as he had guessed from the creature's name and appearance, he could see black smoke slowly rising from the Sky Dragon's corpse. This meant that extracting its shadow was possible. Jinwoo reached out his hand.
Arise.
The shadow extraction was successful without any issue, likely due to his much higher level. With the sound of a beast's final cry, a creature enveloped in a kind of black gas emerged from the Sky Dragon's shadow. The shadow of the dead dragon instantly recognized its new master and bowed its head before Jinwoo.
Please assign the name of the shadow soldier.
Jinwoo's expression showed his surprise. Since he hadn't seen the creature in combat, he had assumed it was merely a mount, but it must have been quite capable in a fight, as the Sky Dragon's shadow began at night grade. Considering that Ygritte, the ace of his shadow army, had also been a night grade until recently, this was an unexpected outcome, but upon reflection, it made sense. There was no way a boss known as the Demon King would be riding a weak and insignificant monster, right? Jinwoo was genuinely pleased with the grade of his new soldier and replied to the system prompt.
Kaiselin, no, hold on.
For some reason, he felt that name was a bit too long.
Kaisel?
The Sky Dragon, now given a new name, lifted its head to the sky and let out a long, piercing roar.
All of you have done well.
With those parting words, Jinwoo returned all his shadow soldiers, including the newly added Kaisel, to his shadow. It was nearly time to depart from the demon's castle. There was, however, one last thing to do. Jinwoo opened his message inbox, where the quest completion notifications were still waiting.
You have completed normal quest. Collect the souls of demons. 2. Completion rewards are now available. Will you confirm the rewards? YN.
Yes, of course.
The moment he confirmed, the reward list appeared before him.
The following rewards are now available. 1 highest grade runestone. Bonus stat points plus 30. Unknown reward. Will you take them all?
A highest grade runestone. I wonder what kind of skill it will be.
Having been curious about this highest grade runestone since the quest began, Jinwoo decided to claim that one first.
Okay, for now, I'll take the first reward.
Highest grade runestone, Shadow Exchange, has been delivered.
After that message appeared and vanished, he felt a small stone in his palm. When he brought his hand closer to his face and opened it, a jet black runestone was resting there. Its color was completely distinct from that of regular runestones. Its shade also seemed far more mysterious than a typical black. Unlike before, when he had to physically crush the stone, this one disintegrated on its own the instant he thought about closing his hand. A pitch-black aura rose from the shattered runestone and slowly enveloped Jinwoo before being absorbed into his body. He quickly checked his skill window.
Skill. Shadow Exchange Level 1. Class-specific skill. Mana required to activate. None. The summoner can switch locations with the designated Shadow Soldier. Once activated, the skill has a 3-hour cooldown period, which will change according to the skill's level.
Jinwoo's eyes widened as he read through the skill's description. While it might be limited by the cooldown period, it was such an incredible skill that it probably required the cooldown to maintain some sense of balance.
Does this mean I can swap places with a shadow soldier no matter where they are?
Depending on its application, this was nearly equivalent to teleportation. Jinwoo was on the verge of summoning a shadow soldier to test the new skill immediately, but he quickly rethought his plan.
If I'm going to test it, I should try it with a soldier who is very far away.
Fortunately, he had left a few soldiers outside the demon's castle. He had stationed 3 of them in his sister's shadow, and another 5 were currently patrolling his neighborhood.
There's really no decision to be made, is there?
He was unsure what kind of side effects the skill might have, and he also couldn't just appear randomly near his sister. That was without even considering how much his sister would freak out. So he searched for the signal coming from one of the 5 shadow soldiers on patrol in his district and focused on it.
Shadow exchange.
The moment Jinwoo uttered the words,
Eh?
as if he were being pulled down by an intense gravitational force, he was swiftly drawn into his own shadow.
Quest complete. You have defeated the Demon King Baran.
But the true strength of a monarch is not found in a single victory, but in the unwavering loyalty of the army that stands behind him.
Displaying the list of S-rank shadow commanders who contributed to this triumph. Moab A. Day of Light. John M. Godman Gaming. Markeithian Tidwell. Adrian. Kumo. Sanketh Chelu. T-Bush. John L. Edgar Fuentes. J.V. Thomas.
With his elite commanders assembled, Jinwoo cast his gaze over the vast battlefield, his shadow stretching to cover the horizon as he prepared to call forth his entire legion.
Arise.